they continue. Keep the Clippers under 80. Ooh, that's fun.
Ooh,
98-79. Curry with 19. Butler with 21. Harden had 20 points. Did not score in the second half. And Kawhi finishes with 18. One of 4 teams in the NBA right now with 4 wins. Currently sitting third in the West right now is what the Warriors are doing. Look, it's early. I know if you ask Draymond Green, he'll tell you they're contenders. What are we looking at here? What is this Warriors team? Are they that good? Are they good enough?
The Warriors?
Yeah.
They obviously talked about their age and their experience.
Sure.
They have that continuity. And right now, they're healthy for the most part. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, you know what you're going to get from those guys. And they defend, and they play in the system, and they move without the ball, and they bog you down. I mean, listen, they gave up in 2025, I think, up 79 points in a game. that is. I don't care how bad the Clippers have played inefficiently, and I think they were insanely bad offensive numbers, but this is what the Warriors, they can beat you scoring a lot of points, they can beat you in the half court, and they can defend. That's exactly what they do. When you're an experienced team like that, you're going to have bogged down, slow, physical games like this, and this was a prime example of that. And Clippers are honestly just as old as they are, too. This was 2 of the older teams in the league, and it was sloppy basketball a lot of times, and there were some good things that the Clippers did early, and then there's good things that the Warriors did, but this is how the Warriors can beat you, and they're a versatile team.
I agree, and I think the most glaring thing with this team this season, this Warriors team this season, is Steph Curry hasn't had a big performance yet. And they're still one of the top teams in the West right now. So, with that being said, obviously this is a scary team. They're built for the postseason, and we're just waiting for Steph to really erupt. And you know, this is a scary team on the low. I think this is exactly how they wanted to approach this season. So, under the radar team, the underdogs all season, and I think they surprised us.
Yeah, they're 4-1. I feel like we haven't seen them play.
They haven't played great.
Steph's only been the top scorer in like 2 of the games.
Yeah.
And 1 was a loss. So
yeah, Jimmy.
That's scary to think about.
Yeah, Jimmy has been leading his team. So, like Boogie said, imagine when Steph Curry turns into Steph Curry. This team is going to be a tough team to beat against anybody. And we talked about the Clippers being an older team. We talked about the Warriors being an older team. But the Warriors have guys on that roster that are highly competitive, high IQ guys that's going to get them through a lot of nights where you don't have to have these big gaudy numbers from Steph or even Jimmy. Like, they're going on the offensive end with the mindset, we're going to get something out of every single possession. When you got a team that knows how to play a game inside of a game, they're going to give themselves a chance to win any game.
Clippers were leading at the half. And we mentioned the fact Harden didn't score in the second half at all, and then they go on to lose this thing. And they are the oldest. They're not the oldest. They're the oldest, and then the Warriors. It's like oldest, give or take, right? Contenders, Lou. When you watch this Clippers team, and we've said it 1,000 times, I'm almost sick of it. But on paper, goodness gracious, that roster's crazy. But are they legit?
On paper, they're a really good team, and they are legit. They just got to find some consistency, right? Like right now in this season, they're 9th in offensive rating, but they're 16th in defensive rating. Last year, they were 3rd in defensive rating, 17 in offensive rating. They got to figure out a way to get both sides of the basketball to coincide with each other. Once they do that, I think they'll be a better basketball team. I don't know a lot of games where you're going to have James Harden not score in the second half and not be able to be that force, because when he's scoring the basketball, he turns into also a facilitator, and that makes their offense that much better. So I think they still are contenders, but they're going through some young growing pains for an older team.
Crazy.
And trying to figure out who's doing what. Bradley Beal has only played in 2 games. Still got to figure out where he fits in. You still got to figure out what you're going to do with Bogdanovich and how he fits into the mold of this team, because if you get him going, he's a guy that's really, really valuable on that roster that can help you win a lot of basketball games. And so they still got a lot of questions to be answered, but I still think in the West, they're going to be a highly competitive team if they can get their offense and their defense to click at the same time.
I think it's going to take some time, right? Like they've made some big additions, like John Collins, Lopez, Chris Paul. They're still going to have to work those guys in. Last night we're watching Kawhi Leonard. He's doing his thing. James Harden was unbelievable. I thought we were going to have a vintage James Harden night where he goes off for 20 in the first half.
Felt like it.
He doesn't get to the free throw line or nothing in the second half. And again, it was weird because they went away from what works. And that's a lot of 2-man game. That is Zubac's on the glass, which he was great. He covered our rebounds, but Steph smoked our parlay with the threes last night. But this is a team where, you know, me and Conrad were talking. They remind me of those teams, the Laker team that just put a collection of these older players out of their prime, or the Nets back in the day that did it, where it looks cool. It seems real fascinating on paper to see all these big Hall of Fame names on one roster. But then at the end of the day, when it comes down to actually playing the game, it doesn't work. Outside that Lakers bubble team, no one's really won at a high level putting this collection of older guys together.
Is that the only argument for putting is the Lakers bubble team? Because you just mentioned like Lakers and Nets and everybody who's tried to do this.
The Nets did it twice. Remember those,
Did
like
it
the
twice.
KG, Joe Johnson, that
was so
squad. They were
splashy.
like, damn, Darren Williams. Like I thought they were gonna.
What about the Miami Heat? Shaq, D-Wade, Antoine Walker.
But
James
they weren't
Posey.
like
That group,
they weren't
yeah, Gary
like
Payton.
former stars when they added them.
Yeah,
all.
this-
What would
I
you
feel like
say?
They were older though.
Yeah, I
They
guess
were definitely older. That's a good.
were.
That's a good one. But
But point being, it's rare.
It's
It's
doable,
rare,
but
yeah,
it's
it's
rare.
rare. But again, that's why I think on paper we're like, ooh, this looks like it could be deadly. Then they get smacked by the Jazz in the first game. Then like they have games like this where they score 79 points and it just shows glaring holes.
That was going to be my question to Lou. You spoke on it earlier as far as, sometimes less is more. Do you feel like the Clippers added too much this offseason?
You got to give yourself a shot. I got a new arena. I got to sell tickets too, baby. You gotta do both. You got to do both. But I think when you bring in a guy like Bradley Beal, who had a rough run in Phoenix, give him a fresh start. Now, I thought he would get away from a team with so much star power so he can kind of get back to being naturally a one or a two option guy. He's back in that third option with this group. If he can figure out a way to hone that in and embrace it and give them big minutes, I still think this is a team that can do it. If you can get really good minutes out of Chris Paul, Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich, like these are guys that over the course of their careers have been very valuable players. John Collins as well. Zubac is coming into his own. This is a very talented roster. I didn't even have to mention Kawhi and James.
Right.
So if you can get all of those guys on the same page, I think you have another team that can be like a Golden State. Golden State is off to a better start, but if they put all those pieces together with that star power, I think they still got a shot in the West.
Hey, Brad Beal out with back spasms.
Don't start. Don't start.
You know what that means for Parsons.
Don't start. Boogie, if you
San
ever
Francisco.
you ever try to steal my job
not 2
again,
weeks, man.
Sorry.
Hey, there's a
I will
bender.
murder you.
There's a real heater. Just saying.
Boogie over here stealing my job.
Stay in my
I
lane.
honestly will. No, I think.
Yeah, any other questions
I
you got?
loved it. I was like, I will actually go and watch the show. I kind of want to watch the show today. We're gonna take a quick break. On the other side, Robert.
Giannis got a lot going on.
He does have a lot going on. Speaking of babies, look at those
Who is that
two.
on the left?
Happy 16th
Who's that on the
anniversary
right?
to Steph Curry, James Harden, on their NBA debut nights. Now 16 years later, seeing each other. Early first quarter, game tied at 7. This is early. Curry hits that 3. Warriors up 3. Now in the second quarter, Harden. 2-point game. Harden was very effective in the first half of this one. 147, now career 20-point first halves. Ties LeBron for the most by any player since 97-98. Clippers had a lead at the half. The problem is Harden didn't actually score a single point in the second half.
What?
And there unfolds the story of the game. 10 minutes left in the third. Warriors down just 4. Curry. I do it myself. Warriors down 2. Now Curry pushing, finds Jimmy Butler. Butler takes it the rest of the way. And there the Warriors take the lead, 58-57. 4 minutes left. Warriors still with the lead. They wouldn't relinquish it. This time it's Curry. He had 19 points, but 12 of them came in the second half. 2 minutes left in the quarter. This time it's Butler in the corner for 3. He made 3 of those on 4 attempts, 21 points. Al Horford missing the jumper. Butler got it! Warriors outscored the Clippers 32-14 in the third. They outscored them 52-30 in the second half.
Wow.
Warriors now up
That's a
18.
lot.
Butler attacking, drops it to Draymond. That's an easy score. It's now a 20-point lead. And then Curry creating some space, knocking down the 3. He made 2 of them, but guess what? That is enough. Warriors didn't need it, and that would do it for the Clippers starters. They're like, good night, see you later. Warriors in full control. They win it 98-79.
Something is changing in Golden State, and you can feel it. The Golden State Warriors aren't just winning games again, they're building something bigger. After starting the season 4-1 with a statement win over the LA Clippers, a new storyline is taking shape inside this locker room. A story about passing the torch, about leadership, and about what makes this franchise different from the rest of the NBA. Last night wasn't just another win, it was a declaration of identity. Stephen Curry dropped 19 points, Jimmy Butler added 21, and Draymond Green anchored the defense. But beyond the box score, there was a message, and it came straight from the heart of this team's leaders. After the final buzzer, Jimmy Butler spoke with the calm, confident tone of a man who's seen both sides of success, the grind and the glory. When asked about Stephen Curry's comments from the previous game, when Steph challenged the Warriors' young players to step up, Butler didn't hesitate. He agreed with his captain, but added a twist, that the veterans now have a responsibility to lift the next generation the same way the legends once lifted them. Us older guys are on our way out of the league, Butler said. These new young guys, they've got the potential to be great for a very long time. I think it's just our job to be really good vets to them, set them up for success, and give them all the confidence in the world, knowing some of these role players will be the reason we win a championship. That quote hit deep, because that's the essence of what's happening in Golden State right now. The Warriors aren't just a team. They're a bridge between eras. The core that built a dynasty, Curry, Green, and now Butler, is guiding the rise of the next wave, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Brandon Podziemski. And here's the truth. This mix is working. A few months ago, analysts across ESPN, The Athletic, and Bleacher Report wrote off the Warriors. Too old, too slow, too many egos. Some even said the franchise was caught between timelines. But what those critics missed is that this group doesn't fear change, they adapt to it. Look at what's happened through 5 games. The Warriors ranked top 5 in defensive rating and top 3 in assist-to-turnover ratio. That's not luck. That's a veteran core trusting its youth. In the win over the Clippers, the Warriors tightened the screws defensively, holding LA to just 16 points in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler went full coach on the floor, directing switches, talking constantly, mentoring in real time. And while the veterans led the way, the fingerprints of the young guys were all over this game. Jonathan Kuminga attacked the paint with purpose, not forcing, but reading. Moses Moody filled gaps defensively and hit timely corner threes. Brandon Podziemski, the rookie who just a week ago was struggling to find rhythm, dished out 6 assists with poise well beyond his years. Steph saw it. Jimmy Butler felt it. And together, they're shaping a new kind of Warriors culture, one that merges experience and hunger, wisdom and youth. Remember when the Warriors first built their dynasty? Back then, it was Andre Iguodala mentoring Draymond and Clay. It was David West and Sean Livingston teaching the details that win championships. Now, the veterans have become the teachers, and guys like Kuminga and Moody are listening. Butler's comments weren't just words. They were a reflection of everything Steve Kerr has preached for years: joy, mindfulness, and connection. That mantra isn't just about how they play. It's about how they grow together. Think about the context here. Jimmy Butler was once the fiery young underdog in Chicago, clashing with veterans who didn't believe in his grind. Now, he's the mentor, the steady presence guiding Golden State's future. It's full-circle storytelling, and it's happening in front of us. Behind the scenes, reporters from NBC Sports Bay Area have described Butler as the vocal conscience of the locker room. He holds film sessions with Kuminga and Moody. He talked footwork, shot selection, and even mindset, teaching them the mental toughness that separates great players from good ones. And Steph? He's still the heartbeat. But even he knows this team's future doesn't depend solely on how many 30-footers he hits. After the Warriors' previous game, he said, "There are going to be nights when I don't have to score 40. That's the goal. That's growth." That growth was on full display against the Clippers. Steph's 19 points weren't about dominance. They were about orchestration. He bent defenses, moved without the ball, drew doubles, and let the others eat. Butler led the offense, Draymond captained the defense, and the young core carried the momentum through every substitution. This is the version of the Warriors that scares the rest of the NBA. Not the one living in the past, but the one evolving in real time. And here's what makes this version so dangerous: their balance. 4 players averaged over 15 points in the first 5 games. Their bench, led by Moody, Podziemski, and Pat Spencer, ranks top 5 in plus-minus across the league. They're winning games with depth, defense, and maturity, not just shooting. That's why Jimmy Butler's comments matter so much. He isn't just talking about leadership, he's describing the Warriors' blueprint for sustained greatness. A team where the old guard lifts the next generation, so when it's their turn, the legacy continues. Kerr sees it too. In a post-game interview, he said, "Jimmy's been unbelievable for our young guys. He sets the standard every day. And when you have veterans like him and Steph who care about mentorship, it accelerates the development curve." And the numbers prove it. Through 5 games, Kuminga's efficiency has jumped to 54% from the field. Moody is shooting 46% from 3. Podziemski's assist-to-turnover ratio is 3.5 to 1. Those aren't random stats. They're a reflection of confidence, trust, and opportunity. Even Draymond Green, the emotional core of the dynasty, has leaned into that mentoring role. He's been seen on the sidelines coaching rookies, pulling them aside mid-game to break down defensive reads. It's a full-team commitment to growth. And that's the scary part for the rest of the league. When veterans this talented start thinking like mentors and the young guys start producing like veterans, the Warriors stop being predictable, they become unstoppable. Look around the Western Conference. Denver is elite but top-heavy. The Lakers are inconsistent. Memphis is banged up. Sacramento is still finding identity. The Warriors? They're balanced, deep, connected, and hungry. Jimmy Butler said it best. Some of these key role players will be the reason we win a championship. He's not wrong. You can already see it forming. The small ball units with Kuminga at the 4, Moody spacing the floor, Podziemski initiating offense while Steph and Jimmy rest. It's the same creative, fearless basketball that made the Warriors special a decade ago, but now with a new generation learning from the best to ever do it. So let's be clear. The Golden State Warriors aren't just surviving their transition era, they're redefining it. They've turned potential friction into fuel, aging legs into wisdom, and youthful energy into execution. When you combine Stephen Curry's leadership, Jimmy Butler's discipline, Draymond's edge, and the relentless drive of this young core, you get something rare, a team built for both the present and the future. The Golden State Warriors dynasty might not look like it did in 2016, but the soul of that dynasty is alive and well. And if this chemistry continues, don't be surprised if by April we're talking about Golden State as a legitimate contender once again. Because this isn't nostalgia, this is evolution. So Dub Nation, what do you think? Do you believe Jimmy Butler's mentorship and Curry's leadership can mold the next generation to champions? Are we witnessing the rebirth of the Warriors culture right in front of us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like if you believe in this team's future, and don't forget to subscribe to Warriors Nation News for more daily updates, reactions, and analysis straight from the heart of Dub Nation. Because one thing's for sure, the Golden State Warriors aren't done, they're just getting started again.